and have you guys see me. But hello. A lot of you already know me, but a lot of you don't know a lot about me. So I'm just going to start with that for like a minute. Right before I started doing this with RSVP, I was a marketing director for a television shopping network called the America's Auction Network. They sold like one of those channels you flip through that sells like jewelry, rare coins, real estate. I got into it because I was a real estate auctioneer. I sold commercial real estate by auction. And sales, but the way that you guys do sales is the way that I did sales. And I started going through some changes where I started getting into selling things online. And I went through some funnels, some sales funnels when I was selling in person, making every sale in person. And then I went through somebody else's sales process where they have recorded their entire sales pitch and process and follow-up system so that I actually bought things, without ever having personal contact with the person, and it worked just fine. I got everything I needed out of it. So I started, kind of reverse engineering that, and, we're using little pieces of software and automation things that really work on the back end and plugging a whole bunch of different things together to try and sort of reinvent that in a way that serves RSVP like in a custom way, because at first we just looked for a piece of software that would just plug right in, and it's just not out there. There's too many unique things about RSVP's product that don't fit. So what this is we call it the RSVP Elite Sales Core Program. So it's a marketing-based, prospecting-driven lead generation engine. And so it'll build the list or use your list. It'll have an outflow process that we're going to go through all this in detail, but it's going to be phone calls from corporate, from people that we train, because I think that when we outsource the calls, that the call center out there, $10 an hour, they're handling maybe a dozen scripts, and they're working with a lot of different clients and selling a lot of different kinds of products. They don't have the kind of, responses and rebuttals that I can have just because I sit in the office over at corporate every day and I hear, the things like I'll sit in the meetings and I'll hear something like 320 phone calls came in and the average duration was 3 minutes, on the phone with a brick paver guy, and it blows my socks off. I'm like, are you kidding me? I should be saying that in my calls, but these call centers are never going to get that, and we can train them from a distance, and we can try that out too, but it's probably more effective to just have them sitting in the office every day. I can hear what they're saying. I can do calls with them and show them what we're doing there. And by the way, with the television network, I was the marketing director, but I was also writing the program for the sales floor, because I sat in on a call, and they're getting paid $10 an hour, just like cold callers that we would use for you guys. And I told the owner of the network, I was like, you know what? They are not upselling. They're not cross-selling. They're not downselling. They're not following up. So, and it's an incredible business, the online, the television sales thing. It's all incoming. All those leads call in because they're watching the phone channel. They're watching the television channel. So they call in, and that's like the brick paver. He gets 300 phone calls. If he drops if somebody spends more than 30 seconds on the phone, they should be in their sales loop, and they shouldn't come out unless they purposely opt themselves out. So if they're closable, you're going to close them. So if they're closable in this system, the way that we're setting it up, I'm going to close them. So if that's the way I'm approaching this anyway. So the stalker ads is the next step out of 5, right? And let's see. I'm going to kind of breeze over this as a summary. You're probably going to be like having a couple of questions, and then just hold those off or write them down, and we'll get to them in the end, because I think I'm going to address them at some point here. And so the list, we'll build a list. We'll reach out to the list repeatedly, follow up. We'll warm up a prospect so that if they're warm, you get an alert immediately. If they take an action that expresses some interest, you're going to get an alert that they did that, and I'll show you that in detail. The stalker ads, if they hit any website, any page that we've got on the internet, we're dropping a cookie on their browser, so they're going to see you in places like Fox News, and we're also going to target specific sites like affiliate partners like Nori, and we're also going to target specific sites that talk about the kind of industries that we're going to be going after. And in this case, we've only started with the first one, which is the biggest one, which is home improvement. And we'll expand, and we'll do this like specifically for each category or for each vertical. Prospect tagging, micro-targeting, hot lead alerts, and lead forensics. That line 4 there, that is for, let's say they get an email, right, and they'll get a point because they let us send them an email. They opted in, or we called them and they actually gave us an email and said they wanted to hear more. They get 1 point. And so if they open that email, they're going to get a second point. You're going to know about these. They're going to get fireballs, right? It's Infusionsoft that just tags them that way. So 1 out of 0 to 5. So they open the email and are like, okay, they looked at the subject line, which said something like generate more leads for your home improvement business. And I'll show you all of those emails. And then if they click through and they give you an email to download the report, which is how this pool guy got a $230,000 home improvement job. So if they get that report, you're going to get an alert. And if they go to the strategy session, this whole thing is funneling down to a strategy session. So every single time we contact them, we're trying to set them up for a strategy session, which is an appointment with you. And there's phone numbers on everything so that they can just skip all the digital part and make a phone call to you directly. Loops 1, 2, 3 at the bottom is just sort of a repetitive graphic representation of meaning we're going to call them, and then we're going to email them, and based on their actions, it's going to get a series of emails that are going to change based on what they do. They're going to get direct mail, and the direct mail it can be automated, so only if they warm up by themselves do they automatically get sent a piece of direct mail, which can be something that we create or something that you have specific to your market, and we'll go over that all in detail. So first, I want to show you what they're going to see. They're going to start out with an email first, right? They're going to get a phone call, then they're going to email, they're going to direct mail, they're going to go to the landing page. So I want to think backwards here and probably show you the web page that they're going to land on. And so the whole thing's, they're going to start out early and not see this yet, but this is where all the communication is basing off of, this one right here. So we have the NARI tag at the top, saying that we're a NARI member because in January, we're on the 29th, in like a week. This is going out to the NARI members to try and get them into this funnel and try it out. So it says how I landed a $230,000 home improvement job using this system. It's the home improvement high dollar per job lead generator system at bighomejobs.com. And it's an RSVP campaign that I just named Big Home Jobs to put an industry spin on it. So it says 9 of the top 10 home improvement franchises on the entrepreneur.com's top 10 list use this system. Again, this is a fact. I've got all these printed out of who the top. You can thank Keenan for that great find. He found this on entrepreneur.com's top 10 list, and 9 of the top 10 of them he found have advertised with us in the past or are advertising with us right now. So that's powerful. That's a very good line. I got that in the script we'll go over in a minute. So it's a free report on the secrets of the top 10 in home improvement. And there's some grammar mistakes in here. It's kind of just thrown together. But the graphics and everything, like I built these pages to close sales, not to look pretty. And when they're kind of fleshed out and you know, we know that they're working right, we're going to turn it over so we didn't have to. I wanted to be able to make it fast and make changes fast and not have to go through the guys who are running the sites over in another country. So it's on here and it's just my graphics, but it'll get pretty. You know, we have our beautiful Chelsea in the office and she's going to make it look good. Then there's 3 more videos under that. The pool guy, that's the guy who got that job, a Fortune 500 client. And this is a construction of outdoor living space, and they said it brings us the type of customers we need. That's the whole video right there. This is why this system works as well as it does. This is Affluent Spenders video I think you guys have all seen. And you guys can, you guys text me or chat or turn the speaker on if you want me to play any of these videos. Because if I don't play them, we're still going to take 45 minutes to an hour to get through this, and each one of these are a few minutes long. So I can go back and play some of them, but they're going to take a while. And this one is the 4-minute montage of all the guys, all the testimonials. It says here how these clients boosted their business. And then below that, it's RSVP uses call tracking so that you know exactly what kind of responses you get. Here are actual RSVP call tracking results from some of our clients. And this is pre-paver. And so I highlighted the point that I think really makes sense here. So they got 410 phone calls. 58 of them will repeat, and 352 leads, and they spend an average of 3 minutes on the phone. So I've got friends that run call centers, and they'll pay a lot of money for a lead source, a service, to send them a phone call that spends more than 30 seconds on the phone. That's when they start paying. So 3 minutes on the phone, they're in a sales funnel. If these guys' business isn't run so that they can actually turn these calls into money, then that's where your strategy session should start addressing some of those things. So I think everything on this page, I'm gonna make some more things, like especially right up here, that really explain this better. And the testimonials won't be a feature; it'll be like down here, and up here will be more of an explanation of exactly what this is. And I'll play you a clip of some audio that will go with that if you want to hear it. So then it says, get results like these. AAA Remodeling. This is our top lead source. They're ready to invest in a home improvement project. I cannot recommend this system enough. Outdoor decks. I said I received 3 immediate calls and booked 3 appointments within hours. And then Louver blinds. I said we had a new milestone with a $2 million in sales in 1 month. This system is vital to boosting sales. And this high dollar per job system is used by the Louver Shop, Closets by Design, Architect, Mr. Handyman, Pillow Windows and Doors, ADT. And it says, we peel back the curtain and show you the secrets behind the actual strategy done by small and large companies in inside, outside home improvement, shutters and blinds, roofing, pools, kitchen, bath, remodeling, landscaping. And these are the kinds of things I'm going to say in the video up top, because I think we're going to lose people expecting them to read all of this. So I want to say it right up here, so when they play the video, they start getting excited and it captures their imagination on how much bigger their business can get. And by the way, through this whole thing, I don't talk much about the product or the features. I don't really touch it. They can figure it out by hearing some of the comments in here if they know what they're looking for, but not really. There's enough mystery in here for them to want to get it now, and that's the whole point. So let's see. So if they aren't convinced, says get it now. And if they're not convinced, we sell them again. Companies like Pella Windows and Doors, Louver Shop, California Closets, and thousands more local small business owners have used this system. Get it now. We'll show you how these businesses get their high-end clientele on a regular basis. Get it now. If they don't, we'll sell them again. When we first started working with you, our goal is to simply survive this economy. The results have far exceeded this. We've actually cut our marketing budget and increased our revenue by 50%. We're wasting a ton of money on lousy marketing. You saved our business, and we're excited about the future. So this is a call forwarding number. So if wherever they are in their geography, it'll go to the closest RSVP franchisee, right? So that'll go right to Phoenix if he's calling from anywhere, in Arizona. And then this is just some kind of social proof on how RSVP has some clout. And all the pages have this free bonus. It's a strategy session, which goes straight to them booking the appointment with you. And you'll get an alert immediately. This is a real-time little alert that will be sent to you. And it'll say, that John at Joe's Pools, wants to meet in the morning and is going to schedule this session. And we'll walk through this whole thing. I'm going to actually do that for you right now. Let's say they want to get the report. It says, yes, rush me the home improvement high-dollar job lead generator system in my inbox for free so I can start making money with it today. And this is the 4-minute montage right here, which, again, I'll have more testimonials in here. And this video will be more of an explanation of exactly what they're going to get out of this, what's in it for them, like just benefits of how these really worked on other people. Just a lot of proof and a lot of real facts about how it's worked and what it's going to do for them. And then of course how you guys can actually come out there and in a few minutes point out a few things that can make them a lot more money in their business today. It says step-by-step guide to generating hot leads. It's a step-by-step guide that you can begin using today. Our advanced proven system fuels A-rated national home improvement companies, and we're giving it to you for free. Secret marketing tactics that increase sales and how these fast-growing companies did it. By the end of reading this, you will reach the right audience consistently, avoid the deep discount trap, find higher-paying customers, position your company as the go-to guy, implement proven online and offline strategies that drive sales, capture new audiences that you were not reaching before, learn powerful purchasing triggers and how they increase response. Get the step-by-step marketing techniques that give you the edge over your competition. Reinvigorate your burnout marketing with our proven system. And again, it pushes to get a free strategy session, which is booking an appointment with you. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up, and we'll walk through this. RSVP publications. My zip code is 34695. So this is going to send Gary, or the Pinellas guy is going to get an alert that this just happened right now. Obviously, we haven't turned it on for him, so it's not going to go to him right now, but that would have just been shot in his inbox. It's going to say, alert. I'll show you the alert that it's going to show him later. So anyway, this is the thank you page, and it's pushing for the appointment once again. He gets the PDF. It says, watch your inbox for your report, and it says, stop, wait, you're almost done. Before downloading your free report, watch this video. I consistently get over 300 phone calls from qualified homeowners because of what I learned from my strategy session. So if they do click here, you're going to get another alert that they took an additional step, which is And then I like to go on like a 5-minute rule in real estate. If somebody calls and they're interested in something right then, they have a hot interest, it's in their head, it's fresh, they took a step toward you, and you call them within 5 minutes. So I'd like this to be set up so that eventually it's actually going to your phone, or if you have email, that you have some way of getting this alert right now. So if you call them within after 25 minutes, the old adage goes, they don't even remember who you are. So here it is. Limited bonus free strategy review session. Home improvement strategy experts are standing by. I just did not have the time or energy to go through the process of doing it myself. I'm very happy with the results. Because the report is all about them going ahead and doing it all on their own. If they want us to help them, then we're here for them. If they don't, then everything they need to do to duplicate what RSVP does is in this report. Granted, it's going to cost them 10 times as much as it would to run with you guys, so if they get through the point of trying to do it on their own, they're going to just call you guys if they think it's a good way to go. So this is another testimonial here. And let's see. We have what you'll get from a strategy session: a one-on-one consultation from a local expert, a complete strategy guide to generating the leads you need to make your business explode. Reveal how companies like yours boosted their business using our tried and true system. Evaluate your current growth strategy and make recommendations on how to integrate our tried and true system seamlessly and easily. Strategies for different target markets that have been proven through decades of client experience in home improvement. Free strategy session. So let's say I want to sign up here and meet with one of you guys. So I'm going to sign in again, Jason at RSVP Publications. And that was supposed to be my phone number. Let's go 727-915-186. And I like to talk in the morning. So I schedule a session. Thanks, Jason. Your local strategy expert will contact you shortly, or call your local expert strategy guide now, and they can call you here, and that'll go straight to your main office. So now let's go to my inbox and see what I got. Now, I've already signed up for myself, so I'm hoping it didn't recognize me and do something funny here. Let's see. So let me go to, let's see. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull it up because I've tested myself so many times. It's probably there. Wait, no. Let's see. Okay, it says your high dollar job hot lead generator system download is here. So they go here and it says click here to download your home improvement high dollar job per job hot lead generator system. They go here and they're going to get the PDF. And we can go through this in detail in a minute, but it's 22 pages and it goes through basically, just to give you the gist, it goes through how Bill Foster of American Pools and Homes, which is the featured guy in the front video, how he got that big home job from a Fortune 500 CEO. It says they were searching for a source to create good leads, that he had to narrow down and focus on 3 critical steps that got him there. He had to know who his customer was, focus on it, and basically who it turns out being is he figured out that he has to be in front of the people with money, the affluent consumers that own their own homes, that are in a geographic area around his place, just kind of pointing them around the obvious, that you want them to think about. And, okay, so that's that. And that's not the first email that goes out. We'll go over the first email that goes out here to these guys. Over here. First email that goes out, let's say to Nari, is going to be this: how I landed a $230,000 home improvement job. So if they click on this email, we get an alert that we got an open. And then it says I landed a $230,000 project at the home of a Fortune 500 CEO using this system. Click here and learn more on generating hot leads for your home improvement business. So if they're at all interested, we're going to get another alert that they took this step over to here. Now, as soon as they hit this site, they're getting a cookie placed on their browser till the end of time. And they're going to see ads for this home improvement high dollar per job lead generator system. Follow them all over the internet. So let's go take a look at a few of these stalker ads. And these ads will change over time. We're going to have to add a lot to them. But here's what we've got right now. Hold on a second. Where is it? Stalker ads. Let's just go here. All right, let's go. Okay, so here's one. Let's say he goes away from the site, and the next morning he's checking out news on Fox News. It's going to go how to get high dollar jobs lead generator system here. And here's a specific piece from the Orlando market, and this would be for the what we're putting out there. This would be for Orlando specific. So reach 50,000 affluent homeowners, free mailing. That's his offer. He wanted to actually offer a drawing to win a free spot in his deck. You don't want to do that and say something else. We have a nickel per card kind of a thing on Scott Rubel. So let's walk through this then. Affiliate partners and site targeting. Now, once they start walking around the internet, and if they're a part of any associations, some of the affiliates that we're going to be doing this with, and if you're not familiar with affiliate, it's just basically partnering with people that are businesses that have the same type of target that we're going after, but they're just a parallel service like Nari. We have Nari here. We're going to have watch this video, top 10 home improvement growth strategies revealed, bighomejobs.com. So they click this, they go to the page we took a look at earlier. And then we're going to be in their webinars. We'll be presenting tips on how to do things that help them out, and just really try and be kind of a figurehead to these association members. And we have different associations in here. We have the Associated General Contractors of America, and here's our ad there that'll pop up, and that's just an ad. We'll also be in their newsletters at a certain point. or we have the opportunity to be in their newsletters, in their emails to their members, and we can actually track down their members on our own and start reaching out to them directly by phone and gathering and putting them into the list. And we'll go over how we're building that list here just right after this. So the affiliate partner here, Contractors Institute, and this is our ad here. How 9 of the top 10 struggling home improvement franchises landed on Entrepreneur.com top 10 list using this system. That one's rather wordy. So that clicks through to the strategy session. And here is the Painters Association. So this would be same kind of deal. We'll show up here. We'll be getting in front of our members annually. And here's the Marble Institute, and this is where home improvement guys source their material like granite and stuff. So they have to there's a paid accreditations and stuff like that, paid members, and we'll get in front of their members too. We've already talked to them about doing that. Here's Contractor Talk. These are forums. This is a little less important, but here we're going to be just following them in here and specifically targeting these sites. So what that means is when we're site targeting, that we're going to be placed on these websites above all else, because we're going to outbid everybody who's not doing that. In other words, if you just go on PPC or the Google Ad Networks, you're going to, let's say it's a bidding process. So I know probably a lot of you already know this, but I'm just going to go over it just in case someone doesn't. But the bidding process goes like eBay, and that works like this. If you say I'm willing to pay $25 per click, but the only one under you only pays $1, you're only going to pay $1.01, all the way up to $25. So if somebody pays $7.42, you're going to pay $7.43. You're never going to get the 25 bucks. So we just outbid the crap of everybody on key sites, and we'll always be at the top of that site. And I've watched this work like crazy glue. It just really works. If the traffic on that site is traffic that really matters to you, like paid membership talks more than forums, but this is a forum. And forums are good still because there's 100,000 people in this, and there's a lot of DIYers talking. I looked through it. But there's a good 10% of them that are real pros. They got crews out there, and they are in here because they want to be seen as experts and get some flow, some attention on their own. So we'll be in front of those guys as well, but not as a key, not as a feature, not as a focus. And so when they click on one of those ads, they get to a site kind of like this. How I got 533 phone calls for home improvement jobs. And this is a quote from ProCoat. Does paint finishing, so we probably link this one to the Paint Association. And now we have some more call tracking results. You got 533 phone calls. Sounds pretty amazing. Some more testimonials. This is audio from Louver Shop that you guys have heard. And I'll give you a link to this because I'm going kind of fast, I know. And you guys can go over this in detail on your own when you get back to your hotel room and just kind of browse it and look through it and stuff. So let me go back. Let's go back. Where was I going to go next? Outflow? Outflow, warm lead incubator. So that's kind of just a cute name for dumping it into the CRM. You can do this on your own. Our call guys will do this too. But it says enter them into the cold lead warming incubator and get alerts when your lead takes an action, such as clicking through an email or downloading a report. And this is what it looks like. So if you want your salespeople to dump into this CRM so that they start getting all these other little features added to your list, and you're running one over there, we would love it because we get to tag them and then walk them further down the funnel as they take actions that mean something to us. If they do anything like take an interest, and I'll show you what I did with. Let me actually point this out. Let me go to AT's results real quick. Now I tested out some scripts and made about 100 dials for three different guys out there, and AT was one of them. He had a good list, and if I can remember my password, that would be good. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Hold on one second. Let me see here. This is going so slow. Let's see. Log in. No. Let's go here. Here we go. Capital R. Okay, I know some of you guys are familiar with Infusionsoft, so this is going to be pretty familiar stuff with you, and that probably some of you are not. So I'm going to go into our CRM here right now that we're using right now, which is probably going to change in the future because this thing is set up to handle smaller amounts of users and smaller amounts of segregated or segmented CRMs or list. So you can separate your list and you only see what you want to see. It gets a little confusing on this one. But here's what we're doing here. I'm going to pull up Save Searches, and I'll show you what I did with AT. So I wrote a script that went around the Big Home Jobs Initiative, and then I also ran some scripts that are kind of tried and true with you guys. So I did the one that Sharon's currently using, and that's the one I believe that Larry was using as well, which pushes right for the meeting. So I used that one, and then one that Dave used that was pretty much Dave's pitch back in the day, I think. And they all worked pretty well. But basically, just the first call, I want them in the funnel forever, because again, the way I'm approaching this is if they're closable, I'm going to close them. And it may not be right now. They may not be closable right now. So if you dump them in here, these fireballs are telling you what they're doing forever, right? If they give you more information, it fills in more information. If they do something that goes over, if they start going and looking at your marketing page and your zones, you're going to get an alert on that too. You're going to get it right when they're doing it. So while they're browsing, where are you mailing to, you can call them. And I know some people are uncomfortable doing that, but I don't think you should be, because I think you should be like, hey, I see that you're looking at the website. You're taking a look at our zoning. Anything I can help you with? You can do it like that, whatever it is, to try and just be helpful for them. And so these guys that got one fireball got one email. They didn't even open it. So they weren't really a big focus, but they're still in the funnel. We're gonna follow up with them. They're gonna get the follow-up phone call. They're gonna get some more emails in the series. And here's 2 fireballs. So before I do that, let me go back. Okay, so this guy's fireballs say that here's what he did. He filled out a web form and he opened an email. So he opened his first email, but he didn't do anything. He just took a look. That's 2 fireballs. Now here's this guy, 4 fireballs. That sounds pretty hot. Let's see what he did. He opened an email, filled out a form. He's from Rebath. He opened this many emails. So we only sent him probably 3, and if he stepped through that funnel to the actual book an appointment funnel, then possibly 6. But you see how many opens he's got here? He's really looking. He's really looking. So he's got 4 fireballs. I'd call him right now, which I did. And then I called AT, and then he called him. And so he wanted proof of other rebats that were currently running. So I gave him proof of rebats that ran previously but don't run now. Now he's in AT's court, and he can follow up with him from there. But what he did here is he did 1 click through. What did he click through on? Let's take a look. What is this? Okay. So he opened this link here. Hold on a second. Okay, I can see the link. It's not pulling up the link because we probably changed the link since I sent this to him. I know we did. So I know what this is. This is the rsvpworksforme.com site, and I've already checked out this lead and see where he went. He went to the strategy session. Right. So what I want to point out here is he opened the first email to get the PDF, right? But he didn't download it. And then he opened some more, and we talked back and forth. And he opened some more emails, and he opened some more emails. And then he went to the strategy session. So he went straight to the strategy session. And why I want to really focus on that for a second is he skipped right to the part where he landed on a page that was designed for him to book an appointment with you. He got there. He got all the way to that point. So if you were to get that alert, if I had to get that alert, I'd call him right now. So that's just powerful right there. I hope you guys are seeing the power in this. This is going to be really helpful. This would have been really helpful to me had I had something like this when I was selling real estate. And I did really well in real estate, but I did right now sales. So I wasn't focusing on the pre-sale or the post-sale or the whole system around it, which is what made me really get really good at this, because this is really important to boosting the right now sales. It'll keep these guys warmed up and coming back to you and give you a really focused way to get in touch with the right people and stop the coldness of the call. So you're still going to cold call per se, but theoretically, but they've seen you and they've been seeing you all year long. And another way I approach this is another real estate adage, which is an 8x8, 12 direct, and 33 touch. It's kind of just little, fancy remembering titles that says that at first we're going to hit them 8 times hard in 1 week, not in 1 week, once per week for 8 weeks. And out of there, the ones we have a real connect with, they go into 12 direct, which means they get a direct mail piece or a direct touch piece. Each one of these touches can be a phone call, it can be a piece of mail, it can be an email, it can be something on the internet. So in 12 direct is a direct contact once a month. And then the ones that are warm out of that, you triple down on them. That's 33 touch. That's per year. So they get that comes out to be about 2 to 3 touches per month. So we need a lot of things that we can. That can be half phone calls. It can be a third of it can be phone calls, a third of it can be email, a third of it can be direct mail, and some of the direct mail is going to be automatically triggered and sent to them. Let's say up to your discretion how much you want to use on this, but if they get up to 3 stars, you want to trigger the mail campaign. So now this guy's in the mailbox, and it's segmented over to the mail bucket in here, and every month he gets the direct mail piece. And you don't have to do anything. That's already, the graphics are loaded, the mail piece is going out, and it's just ready to go. So you're always in front of this guy. The next time you call him, there's no like him, it's going to be more like, hey, it's Jason, how you doing? It's like he knows who you are already. Let's see. So, okay, so that's the scoring system. Let's go back over to Stalker ads, hooking the browser, affiliate partners. We did that. Prospect tagging. We just talked about prospect tagging. Let me know if you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, because I know I'm breezing through it. That site we've already seen. Let's go to the list building. So on list building, here's what we found out. By calling a lot of you guys and asking who's building lists and what the best way to build lists are, here's what we came up with. So you can give us a list of categories that you want us to approach, and we'll go ahead and build that list for you, or you can build a list yourself and you can send it to us and we use that. But basically, we locate the online advertisement buyers and the top ranked placements on places like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Angie's List, Houzz, and Google Maps. And what fields we're going to gather and dump in there is their email, phone number, address, and the owner's name if we can get it. So the additional options here, and you guys can all talk to Kevin afterwards, because this is some of the information I got from him. And what he does, and it sounds like a pretty workable system here, and what we're going to do is combine all the lists, merge and dedupe, standardize for mailing, and what he was using there is Info USA, Yelp, Contractor Board, BBB, Houzz, and I think he does Yellow Pages, but it seems like a good idea. We're using Yellow Pages while we try this out. And here's some prices approximations for doing it yourself, doing it himself. That's what he had to pay, which comes up to like $1,200. And I thought we kind of talked about the pricing of that, and it sounds like it's probably too high. So we can have this done in-house and just manually go through the process and create the CRM or the list ourselves over at corporate. So let me click through on one of these and show you what I'm talking about. If you go to Yellow Pages, we can see that this little yellow box over here means they're paying advertisers. So the same thing you used to do back in the day, where you flip through the Yellow Pages and find out who's paying customers and then contact them to advertise with you. And if you can see here, Acoma Roofing, he's one of the testimonials I've got on the page, and he's right here. He's a paying advertiser here and in the deck. So I think Yellow Pages is an extremely good source here. And this is Roofers, Tampa, Florida. So we'll go through, get all these advertisers here, get all these advertisers down here over on the side. And if you want, we can still grab these guys in the middle, but that's kind of like, the listing section of the Yellow Pages that, Dave would avoid. So let's go back. Let's go back. Angie's List, you guys are familiar with that. It's a little harder to scrape Angie's List because they don't like you to. So we may or may not do that. We know we have some hackers telling us that they can do it for us, but we may or may not dive into that. Houzz, you guys are familiar with that. What we're going to do there, what we found out, is that only the top 30% of them are actually worth really, calling, because a lot of them are just fluff. They're just making a profile on there to try it out. And I think a lot of you guys already know that. So here's Google Maps, and what we're doing here is this is a real quick, easy way to get the guys who have the organic top SEO listings for their category online. So that's how they organize this. We double-checked, and Tampa Roofing Company, if you go over to Google and you just search Roofers Tampa, this is the top guy that comes up. And they do this, they organize these guys by the amount of traffic they get, the amount of updating they're doing to their website, and the amount of good SEO that they have, and their geographic location compared to where I'm searching from. And a lot of that kind of stuff is just sort of mysterious to everybody because Google changes their algorithm 200 times a year, no joke, and they don't like to tell people how they're doing it because then we game the system. So as far as we can tell, these are just the most active people in your area for roofing in Tampa, Florida. And you can see their phone numbers are on every single one. You can get their address, you can get the business name, and then boom, we just make the list and we start calling the list. We dump them into the funnel, and if they're closable, we're going to close them. So let's go back. Let's go back. Loop 1. We'll dive a little deeper. Here's the phone script, and what you're going to get in the scripts was a weekly call stat sheet, and this is how I did it a lot of times in the past, this works really well. You guys probably do it in your office. I know you guys are like the top of the pack here, and you know your sales. So this is the number of dials, number of connects, number of warms, and number of appointments. You'll get this from the guys doing the calls for you every time they do the calls. And a warm lead incubator, that's the page that you saw there. That's where they're going to dump them into the funnel, or you can dump them into the funnel yourself. This is a sample script. It's something similar to the one that I was using, and you can view the full script here, which we'll take a look at if you want to. But basically, it's really long-winded, and it's everything like I could bust out of my toolbox, written down on like 5 pages. So I would just lay that out in front of me, and then I would try and get a response out of them based on what I knew about them or what I could figure out about them real quick, and try and say something, you know, that catches them real good off the top. And basically, it's you know, so some of the stuff that you say on the old scripts, we're like, you know, we only have 2 spots left. We're looking for decorative concrete guy, and we want to know if that's you know, if you fit the bill, if you actually qualify for this, you know, something like that you guys already know that script. I'm not saying it really right, but it's there. And then this is the way that I was doing it that actually go with the big home jobs. It says we have the growth strategies of 9 of the top 10 home improvement companies because they're actually our clients. And it's a strategy guide that we're giving away to free to decorative concrete companies like yours because we think you have the potential to actually become one of those top 10. I just want to send us your email. Sound fair enough? Most of them said yes. So they send their email, that gets them into the funnel, then they're in the follow-up calls, they're in the emails, they're in the direct mail, they're in the retargeting online, and then they're alerting you if they take any further actions. Closing questions that I was asking, you know, just say real quick at the end, you know, get their name in the email and say how many employees you got. You know, we got 12. Ooh, okay. What would you consider a high-dollar job? $25,000. And so that means, to me, I go ding, ding, ding at the top of the list, right? He's got 12 employees. He's got a budget. This guy's got a budget. So sometimes they say a high job for us is $500, and I got, you know, 4 guys. It's me and, you know, 3 guys or something, and I you know, and then I know where they fit on the list too. Okay, so the full script, if you go here, you can take a look at it. I'm not going to go through it in detail because a lot of it is just very, very wordy on purpose so that I could, you know, try out everything I could think of. But basically, it's loops. And if you guys are familiar with the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, I bought his sales course, and you know, he's just basically reverse engineered. I hesitate to say this, but like really good lying. But it's not lying if what you're following up with and what you're saying is true. So you change it to the truth, and you go for the convincing. So this is just the loops are people say no, you know, 3 or 4 times, and you try and box them in by giving them back their own logic on, you know, proving to them that they have a need and that it's something over here that fills that need would be good for them, and they're going to agree with that. They'll end up either hanging up or having to agree with you. So basically boxing them in, and this is what it is, right? These are what the loops are based on. You know, just really qualifying the customer and trying to break through his limiting buying beliefs. And, you know, a lot of people, including myself, don't want to buy right now just because of that belief. I'm not buying right now. I'm just going to not do an impulse buy. So we just put them in the funnel and we follow up with them. And we have qualifying questions in here you can take a look at. That's basically just trying to figure out what's their biggest headache, right? And then just shut up. That's what I have my guys do. Just, you know, what is it that their challenge is? How are they currently getting their leads? What's working best for them? What's your biggest headache in running this whole thing? And then just really be quiet and let them give you the point that you need to sell them on. So that's the whole point of that. This is some points of interest. That's the top 10 people that we've got. Those are the 9. Those are the ones from the entrepreneur list. So there's also something over here, and thanks, Keenan. He came up with this nice little nugget. I love it. It's the Franchise Expo's Top Home Improvement Franchise List for 2013. This is a lot more stuff. We're just going to start using these in some of our ads and some of our webinars and some of our you know, phone things. And hopefully some of you guys like to do live events in your local areas, and I'd love to push those too. That's the call sheet again. So you can go over that and kind of, you know, take a look at it on your own time. And it's an ever-evolving script, right? That's not tried and true at all. So loop number 1, that's the phone calls. The email series is here. So the first email they get, hi, Jason, this is how I got, wait, no. The first email they get is how I landed a $230,000 home improvement job, which we looked at. And then they start getting all these things. How I got 410 phone calls for affluent homeowners, 292 calls from affluent homeowners, 533 calls for home improvement jobs. And then, you know, if we take a look at one of these, it's like this is the email. I got 410 incoming phone calls from affluent homeowners. And then they go here, click here, and learn more on generating hot leads for your home improvement business. And this is that video that we made that just kind of describes who they're going after. I think you guys have all seen that. Let's see. And then this is the page. You guys know this page. This is a similar page. It's the same layout every time, and just the top level pretty much changes. So let's see. Those you can go click around and look at on your own. These are once they get past that first funnel, if they take any action over to the strategy session page, the ads they see start changing into get your strategy session now, right? And their message starts changing to getting this is the download. They downloaded the PDF now. Strategy for high-dollar sales improvement jobs, more calls, more leads. So they'll start seeing a strategy session alerts. So this is the quality of the leads is fantastic. You're going to get the high-dollar amount jobs, and this is this guy who actually says that in that testimonial. You get your strategy session now, and they get here, then boom, they're tagged. They just looked at it. They're interested in setting an appointment. This is what this tells me. If they want a strategy session, they want one of you guys to talk to them. So you get an automatic alert. It's real time. You get it in your email, and again, hopefully we can set that up so they get it, so that you get it in your text. And if not, we can have it sent over to the sales guys over here and have them follow up for you. But I think it's a good point for a personal contact from you. The direct mail series is here. Now this top one is something unique to your market. This is Scott's. He does that 5-cent mailer and nickel a card. And then there's some other stuff down here that we made for the high-dollar lead generator. Why go after small jobs when you can get big ones? We had another one that said how I got a $230,000 home improvement job using this system, and it says call or visit to learn the secrets in this free report. Expires in a week. The number goes straight to your franchise, and then there's some more testimonials there on the card, and those will change over time. The direct mail trigger is basically we went over that. Yeah, if they get to a certain point in the funnel, it'll put them into the 12 direct, so they'll start getting a monthly mailer, and that way it saves you a lot of money. You can either blanket mail them up front, which is a good idea too. For that 8x8 part for the beginning outreach, you could blanket mail them, or you could choose not to, and just give it to the mail to the ones that really actually take an action on their own. So you have both options there. Let's see if I missed anything. Stalker ads, affiliate ads. Where is the? Let's see. Lead forensics is really interesting. Now, I don't know if any of you guys saw this, so I'm going to start at the basic level here. This is a snapshot of the back. The dashboard here, which is basically saying, let's say, for example, when we send this out on the 29th to NARI, we don't know who it's going to. It's going to the members of NARI. So if anyone clicks through and they're on a commercial IP address, their street address is a commercial address, and they have a static IP, that means. So this will log their IP address as commercial business information, and it'll tell us where they went on the website. So in this case, Outdoor Living Brands visited the crap out of the site. He went to the Contact Us page for 13 seconds, 3 seconds, 21 minutes, probably made a phone call. Richmond, if you're in the room, you know this guy probably, I'm assuming. Outdoor Brands. These are sites, and you can ask Zach more about lead forensics. He's very well-versed in this one. But these are little logos that we gave them so that we deem the page that this logo turns up on to be important. In other words, if they looked at your zone map, or they looked at your media kit, or they're trying to figure out what your pricing is or something like that, you'll come up as one of these kinds of logos, one of these little, like a star or something like this, and Zach can go over this in detail with you, kind of explain this more. Second Space took a look here. He spent a minute and a half here, and then if you click on any of these, here's what you see. Outdoor Living Brands, and then their phone number, and you see their email address. You see their website. You can go take a look at them, make sure they're a lead. And then here's what they did. They spent some time here, 3.5 minutes here, 17 minutes on this page. And if you want to see the page that we're looking at, and the title doesn't ring a bell, you just go over here and you look at the page that we're looking at, and you say, oh, check that out. They just looked at my zone map. I got to call this guy. And you can go on the premise that, like, I saw you looking at our site. Just want to know if you have any questions. Kind of passive, or you can be way more direct and say, I have an upskill, marketing package that goes to the highest income earners in your area that are interested in home improvement jobs. And I know you looked at our site. You don't have to be like stocky about it, which I think is some people's objections. Let's see. So that's lead forensics. Let's go back to the home. So let's see. I don't think I missed anything. The loops are all the same. So they just go 3 in a row. That's 3 loops. Basically just 3 there because it'll start over. They don't ever really get out of the loops. But looping means, you know, you go back to the beginning and repitch it. You go back to the beginning and repitch it. You go back to the beginning and repitch it. And most people, you pitch them 3 or 4 times, and they're going to at least try it out. They won't let you get 3 or 4 pitches deep. They won't even let you, I mean, you know what I mean. If you get that far, you should be able to close them at some point in time. So I think that's basically it. If we want to open up for some Q&A, let me know if that all made sense. Thanks.
Jay, just unmute the mic so you can hear us now, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. That was a lot of information. Did a good job. I don't know if everyone has questions. They even know what to ask yet. Do you want to go over any of this? Here's the pyramid. You can kind of recap that. Is there any? I don't even know if you know questions to ask.
So we can just send you our email database and turn this thing on?
Yep, we can add to it. We can harvest new data to it, or we can just use strictly your list. It's up to you.
Periodically, we can send you an email saying, here, add this,
add these, a couple dozen, yeah.
I can send you stacks of magazines to help you build my list. Is that what you're saying?
Prefer Excel file, but...
Okay. So I get somebody else to do it. Okay.
We can give you categories, and then you can go in and secure those businesses that fit those categories and build that list. And so it can be a combination of all these things.
Yeah.
We actually rather kind of go with a category, pull all the appropriate areas for the category, then
through those different
and then throw them to the
systems.
Yeah.
Right.
But
The yellow pages.
Strong category for you. Maybe you can get 2 sales out of it, then that's the best way to push it. One category at a time.
And you're buying a list from Nari too?
You don't really get the list. You're able to blast out to their list, and then you the whole point is to kind of give them in our funnel. Well, they don't give you the list. You say, here's my email, Nari, blast it out through your system, and then it goes.
Do that?
Yeah. And it goes out to all the members.
Not for free, but
You're right.
Hey,
Cost.
Who was on that list? Do you remember?